What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and Season 5 Reloaded just released worldwide on all platforms. We have the brand new playlists here, as you can see, but the events tab is back. As you can see, you can switch tabs here between the Faction Showdown Camo challenges versus the Faction Showdown Vehicle Camo challenges. So, take a nice look at all of the challenges right there for our various weapons, and then our weapon camo there at the bottom that you unlock once you complete all weapon classes, and you, of course, do get a charm. For vehicles, though, obviously you'll get a camo for each vehicle as you go, but then by doing just 6 of the 12 here, you'll get a loading screen, animated emblem, and an actual weapon blueprint, which looks amazing. So, let's see if we can actually preview. Ooh! Nice new animation when selecting a game mode. Hello! That was cool. Oh, and I got a fetching online profile bug. What just happened? Can I back out? I think my game just broke. Should I go and I'll try Warzone? Don't fetch online profile. No! No! Don't break. This is the base camo you'll get for doing the individual weapon camo challenges. Doesn't look like we have a preview of the animated mastery reward. If it is animated, it's not here yet. Can't preview it right now. But for those wondering what's going on with the Task Force 141 Polish camo, it is still locked. Has an unknown unlock challenge to it, and they'll probably talk more about that at a later date. But this is the weapon camo. Let's see if we can preview the vehicle camo. Doesn't look like we could see a preview of the vehicle camo that you unlock as a part of the event, but again, you got a slight preview of it right here in the top left corner or in the blog post image. That's, of course, our base camo for the individual weapon categories, but then this is the one you get for doing all of them. But now moving on to the Faction Showdown weapon camo challenges, keep in mind that some of the challenges say you can kill enemies and some of them say that you can kill operators. In terms of what that means, enemies are referring to AI in Ground War Invasion or matches of DMZ, whereas operators are referring to real players inside of the game, but for the challenges that say enemies, it can be either AI or real people, whereas the ones that say operators can only be limited to real players that you end up killing. Hopefully that's very clear, but also keep in mind that most of these challenges can be done in matches of shipment, and I get it. If you want to do this as fast as possible, you're going to hop into shipment as often as you can, but if you want to spice things up a little bit and make it to where the event doesn't get stale by playing the same map over and over again, I'll also be giving tips on different maps and game modes that you could do a lot of these challenges in. So starting off with assault rifles, get 250 operator kills with an AR. I decided to use the M13C since it's one of the new DLC weapons in the game, and it's actually pretty powerful, much better than the M13B, at least in my opinion, and obviously you could do this in any map or any game mode, but if you want to do this pretty quickly, you can go ahead and do it on shipment, but if you're trying to take your time with this event, then feel free to hop into any game mode of your choice. And you can also hop in a 10v10 or close quarters that's available to find the maximum amount of players inside a multiplayer. But when it comes to battle rifles, get 40 operator kills while prone with a battle rifle. So again, you can do this pretty quickly on shipment, but I decided to go on to a match of 10v10 with the Cronin Squall. The Cronin is probably one of the best, if not the best battle rifles inside of Modern Warfare 2. Not that hard to complete at all. Again, you're kind of just camping for this challenge, but do keep in mind that a lot of these challenges as a part of the event or any other seasonal event we've gotten are relatively the same as a lot of the base camo challenges inside of MW2 already. So you're kind of knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone when doing a lot of these challenge events. Next up, Marksman rifles. Get 40 operator kills while using a suppressed Marksman rifle. Obviously the Tempest Torrent, one of the new Marksman rifles that got added. It's probably a top 5 weapon in the game as of right now. If you hop on shipment, this is really simple. But again, if you want to go onto hardcore or even matches of ground war for all we know to find a lot of people, then you can do that as well, because 40 operator kills isn't that bad, especially with a weapon as good as the Tempest Torrent. That's just my opinion, of course. But then we have the launchers. Get 75 enemy kills using launchers. So this means you can actually go ahead and take down AI in matches of DMZ or Ground War Invasion, if that's what you prefer. But some folks out there cannot stand the AI inside of COD 2.0, and they'd rather play regular, real multiplayer. So in that case, shipment is your friend. But I'd almost say go on to matches of hardcore, whether it's hardcore shipment, if that playlist is still available, or just regular hardcore, because you want to make sure that if people out there are running Bomb Squad, you're not accidentally getting a hit marker with an RPG and maybe getting yourself killed instead of killing the actual enemy. Hardcore will ensure you're getting those enemy kills if that RPG does go off anywhere close to anybody that's in proximity. But you're also looking for as many people as possible, so again, 10v10, awesome opportunity to find a lot of people there, and if close quarters is available, that's also a good way to make sure that you're on some small small maps when doing this challenge. But next up, LMGs. We have get 30 operator long shot kills using an LMG, and this is the easiest challenge you could possibly do on matches of hardcore, and maybe run a Sakin. I decided to run a Sakin that came with that new elemental bundle as of recently, the Valeria Ice Flow one, and this was relatively simple. I would say when it comes to long shots in general, like I always say, no matter what camo you're going for, long shots can be frustrating because it's not necessarily about the map that you're on. That could play a factor too if you're not sure about how the sight lines work and where you can best get a long shot. There's a lot of player RNG involved, really hoping that people come across certain sight lines to ensure you can get a long shot. That's what's the most frustrating, is how other people are playing, not necessarily where you're standing or what the map is that you're on. But then when it comes to melee weapons, get 30 enemy kills using melees. Now most people out there would probably just go into a match of Invasion to get the AI, or even a match of DMZ if you like DMZ, and you could take down 30 enemy AI pretty easily. But hey, if you like going after real people, then Shipment's obviously your friend, or even matches of 10v10. But with that being said, if you're on a match of 10v10 on a relatively bigger map, it could be a little difficult to actually get some melee kills before other people catch on to you and end up picking you off. So you want to be on the smallest map possible, unless you're going for AI, then it doesn't really matter if you're on Almazra, Ashika, even Vandal. But I was also running the dual Kadachis, which came with the Black Noir Boys bundle a couple of weeks ago. But now we have handguns. Get 50 enemy headshot kills with a handgun, and the F-Tac Siege, I'm sure you guys were thinking about it already, doesn't even feel like a handgun in the game. It feels like an SMG. It of course is the Tech 9 from Cold War and other games you've probably seen it from. So if you guys are good with getting headshots in real matches of multiplayer or even Warzone, feel free, be my guest. But I would actually recommend hopping onto third person with the F-Tac Siege, because headshots aren't that hard at all, especially with the F-Tac. Hopefully you guys give that a shot. If not, I guess you could just go on to Shipment and do some mounting or some camping, whatever it is you want to do. But the F-Tac Siege definitely packs a punch and is pretty reliable in terms of getting those headshots that you need. But now we have shotguns. Get 3 operator kills without dying 10 times using a shotgun. So I'd say it's really easy to hop onto a match of hardcore, pick up an MX Guardian or a KV Broadside, and you have quite a bit of range with those bad boys. So it'd be really easy to get the kills that you need. It'll be really easy to get the kills that you need. Now, if you guys want to move at a snail's pace because getting 3 kills without dying can be difficult, then yeah, feel free to go onto a bigger map of TDM, even if it is on hardcore, and try to take your time with it. But if you're ready to move as fast as possible and get this done as quick as possible, then yeah, the smaller the map, the better. Obviously, Shipment, that'll be the ideal experience for finishing shotguns. But then moving on to SMGs, get 100 operator headshot kills using an SMG, and nearly all SMGs in the game are solid. The Fennec, the ISO, whatever it is you guys want to use, feel free. But 100 operator headshot kills, again, this cannot be on AI, it has to be real people. That's going to take you a little while, so that's where I'd say you want to move the pace as quick as you can. So I'd really recommend going into Shipment for this one, because 100 kills isn't easy for a lot of folks. It may take you a while, so if you're trying to speedrun this event as much as you can, then definitely hop on a Shipment for your SMG headshots. And if you want to spice it up and hop onto hardcore Shipment, if that's available, feel free to do that, because that's also going to help you quite a bit when it comes to hit markers. But last and certainly not least, snipers get 50 operator headshot kills with a sniper. So this is where you want to have as much space as you can. I mean, you can go into a hectic match of Shipment all you want if you're a good enough sniper, but this is where you want to give yourself a little bit of breathing room. So definitely hopping onto longer matches of domination on some of the bigger scaled maps in the game, whether it's some of the new maps like Strike, like Punta Mar, whatever it is you prefer, even Ground War like I hopped into right here. That's where you want to make sure that you're finding the best position possible on the map and trying to pick off as many people as you can. But if you're on too small of a map, it could be really difficult to not only get a snipe, but a headshot on somebody with a sniper. I do love the FJX Imperium, but if you want to use that or some of the other snipers in the game, feel free. They're nearly all just as powerful as one another, but you want to give yourself as much space as you possibly can. Now do remember, by completing a weapon category camo challenge, that will unlock a single camo for every weapon in that category, but by doing all weapon categories, you will unlock a final mastery camo for every weapon in the game, which can be equipped on all weapons once unlocked, and is fully transferable in Modern Warfare 3. You'll also unlock an event mastery charm by having done everything as a part of the Faction Showdown camo challenges. But now moving on to a brand new seasonal challenge that we've never really seen before in Call of Duty, we have the vehicle camo challenges. I'm not kidding. So they've released a series of challenges that are vehicle based, and by doing all of them, you'll get a couple of exclusive rewards, which I really didn't expect, and it makes Season 5 Reloaded that much better. So we first up have the JLTV, get 30 enemy kills by running them over with the vehicle. So the fact that it says you could do this against enemies means that you could take advantage of all the AI that you want in either matches of Invasion or even in matches of DMZ. It's probably easier to do against AI, but if you run across real people with the LTV, then yeah, that counts as well. But do keep in mind, when it comes to to these vehicles, not all of them will spawn in a single match of Ground War or a single match of DMZ. I would say there's RNG involved every now and again, or there'll be some matches where you just don't see certain vehicle types, but for the most part, almost all vehicles are available in a single match of Ground War, and I know there are some restrictions with DMZ every now and again, but I'll put a list on screen so you guys can see exactly what vehicles are available in which game mode. We next up have the Armored Truck. This is a DMZ only mission here, where you have to ram 5 enemy vehicles at high speed, so there is some RNG involved there. The fact that it says enemy vehicles means that AI could be driving their own trucks. You could just ram into them at full speed, but the Armored Truck's only available in DMZ, so that's why it's a DMZ specific challenge here. We then have the ATV. Stay in the air while in the vehicle for 15 seconds. That's probably easiest if you go to the highest point of Al Mazrah and just drive right off of that cliff and just stay on the ATV while it's in the air. You'll get that done relatively quickly. But now moving on to the heavy tank. Get 20 operator kills with either turret. So this is something where you just want to hop into Ground War, and you'll see a lot of people in a lobby at Ground War, and it's going to be on a decent sized space. I mean, some of the Ground War maps are bigger than others, but Ground War is the only place you can really do this on. And getting 20 kills isn't easy, but it will take you a little bit of time. With the right lobby though, if you have people maybe throwing trophy systems on your tank protecting you, you'll be able to take out all the enemies pretty quickly. But then the hatchback, get 10 operator kills while leaning out of the vehicle. This one could be pretty tough. Obviously the hatchback is in Warzone or DMZ. If you see real people, then yeah, have your teammate drive the vehicle and then you could lean out and try to get that kill. That might take you a lot of trial and error. So it's all a matter of finding actual real players that somehow don't shoot you out of the hatchback while you're leaning out. That could be pretty tough. But then the light helo, available in nearly every single game mode, refuel your helicopter at 10 different gas stations. So I'd say to avoid a lot of real players, maybe just do this on a match of DMZ. Light helos on DMZ, so if you guys can manage to grab one of those, just go to all the gas stations that you can possibly get to, and they're all marked on your TAC map, of course, so that shouldn't be hard at all. The PWC, visit 5 points of interest while driving the vehicle. That is extremely easy to do, so pay attention to the point of interest at the top of your compass. Then the Armored Patrol Boat, get 20 enemy kills with the boat turret. Thank God it's not operator kills, because enemies means you can actually go ahead and kill AI with the Armored Patrol Boat. The Patrol Boat isn't the greatest vehicle in the game, so that shouldn't be that hard if you guys manage to get into one and there's a bunch of AI kind of near the dock or near the area where you got the boat from. The dirt bike though, perform 20 air tricks with the dirt bike. You obviously get a prompt on screen to perform air tricks while you're in the air with the bike, so it's just a bit of rinsing and repeating. Shouldn't take you long at all, but that's also a very straightforward challenge. But last, certainly not least, the MRAP, the brand new vehicle that got added here inside of Season 5. Get 30 operator kills using the turrets on the MRAP. That's going to be something that isn't actually that hard, but sounds harder than it really is, right? The MRAP is very powerful, so you manage to get into one of those with your teammates. Obviously, it costs 200 grand to buy a key for a MRAP inside of DMZ. If you manage to get into one of those, though, and you come across a platoon or just real people in general, it's almost a guarantee you're going to get that kill, because the MRAP is extremely powerful inside of matches of DMZ, but obviously there aren't that many real people in matches of DMZ, so it might take you a while to come across that many real people. Now, unlike the weapon camo challenges, though, you can complete just 6 out of the 12 available challenges to unlock the mastery rewards as a part of the vehicle side of the Faction Showdown event. So these rewards will include a new weapon blueprint, a loading screen, and even an emblem. So you obviously get a camo for that vehicle by doing the challenge, but then the mastery rewards, by doing just half of all the challenges, do sound great. I mean, that's crazy to see this many rewards for a mid-season challenge event. Now, if you want to get the camouflage on all 12 vehicle types though, then as I say in the blog post, rev up those engines and prepare for combat across DMZ, BR, and other Warzone or Modern Warfare 2 modes. You gotta hop into quite a few different modes to get all of these done, since again, some of these vehicles are restricted to certain game modes inside of COD 2.0, but lots of opportunities here to get a bunch of free cosmetics here for Season 5 Reloaded. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the brand new Faction Showdown challenge event as a part of our mid-season 5 update? What are your thoughts on the brand new camos and the vehicle ones as well? I really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.